I believe you also have a unique opportunity to protect the purity of your brothers in the Lord. What I think you probably are not aware of is how difficult it is for a guy to look at a girl with purity in his heart when she is dressed immodestly. You have no idea how difficult it is. You have no idea.
I remember feeling like I was a threat, and I remember feeling like I was a bad person. My sexuality was dangerous. It was something to be feared. The narrative that we've internalized is that pure girls and women protect us all. They ensure by their proper covering up, by their not taking up too much space, whatever it is, that none of us are going to have sexual thoughts and feelings.
How long, ladies, will you suffer through this religion that consistently and continuously tried to marginalize you? Here we are again, a man trying to blame the woman for the indiscrepancies of other men. It reminds me of how when I was studying Islam and I went to a temple in Saudi Arabia, I went to a mosque, in Saudi Arabia. And I asked, why are the women in the back and the men in the front? Is that like a sign of submission? And the imam there told me that no, the men are in the front and the women are in the back so that a man won't sin by looking at a woman's butt. And I said, what about the women looking at a man's butt? Are you concerned about that? Because wouldn't it be better if they were side by side then, if that was the case? And I thought that this might have been an isolated event. So I carried that thought when I was in Yemen, asked the same question. In Oman, asked the same question. In Bahrain, asked the same question. Qatar, asked the same question. Kuwait, I asked the same question. Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, I asked the same question. And no matter what Arab country I was in, when I asked that question, 90% of the time, because there are a few instances where the women were on the side and the men were on the other side, but in almost every situation where the women were in back, the response was so that the men won't sin and look at their butts. And I asked each one of them, what about the women sinning and looking at the man's butt? And none of them had an answer for that. In so many religions, they have tried to control the chastity of the woman, and they have tried to blame a man for giving in to that. I believe somewhere in the Bible, in the New Testament, it says that the 144,000 that are sealed, that these men will not be, they will not have violated themselves with women. That being with a woman is the violation of a man as far as being one of the 144,000 that are sealed. The woman violates them. Being with a woman is the violation. I find it interesting, one of the stories where the young lady, Tamar, is not given the youngest son of, I can't remember if it's Jacob or whom it was, I can't remember right now. But when he slept with the prostitute that he thought was a temple priestess, he was fine doing that. But when he found out that his daughter-in-law had become pregnant, absent of being married to one of her sons, he wanted her stoned. And then when he found out it was him who impregnated her, all of a sudden, she's more righteous than me. A woman having birth to a daughter, she's unclean for 14 days. Where she has a son, she's only unclean for a week, 7 days. A woman going through her natural menstrual cycle, she's considered unclean, and anything she touches is unclean. When Aaron and his sister Miriam complained to Moses complained to Moses, Aaron suffered no punishment, whereas Miriam, although they had the same complaint, and Aaron is the one who did most of the verbal complaining against Moses being married to a Midianite woman. Miriam got leprosy and had held outside the encampment until she was made clean, but nothing happens to Aaron. This book consistently shows that it just wants to dominate women. And I, for the life of me, can't figure out why women still participate in this religion in any form or fashion. It's bewildering. The woman was brought to Jesus for committing adultery. She cannot commit adultery by herself. There has to be a man involved. Where's the man? So you women, stay silent. For I suffer you not to speak in the churches, but if you have any questions, to ask your husbands at home. That it is a shame for a woman to not have hair. This book consistently tears y'all down. And even in today, they are saying that women don't dress provocatively, because when you do that, men can't help themselves. There's uncontrolled beast. And they will fall into sin. So it is the woman's job to protect the men, not the man's job to become a more moral creature, a more purified being. Nah, it's not the man's job. It's just the woman's job. But anyway, y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.